Do Performance Max campaigns look like a black box to you? Well, that's because they are for the most part, but still there are many ways how you can analyze its data to help you understand better what the campaign is actually doing. And in fact, there are a few hidden ways as well, which I want to show you in this video. So watching this, you will learn everything you need to know about analyzing Performance Max campaigns. Ready? Let's go. Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Timo and I've got clicks in mind. I'm a Google Ads professional and have been running successful Google Ads campaigns for more than 5 years now. Here on my channel, I love to help people to drive more success with their Google Ads campaigns. So please subscribe to this channel if you like free and helpful videos like these. Also, let me know in the comments how your Performance Max campaigns are doing and where you might be struggling. Before jumping in, I want to give you a quick disclaimer. Performance Max campaigns are known for overvaluing their impact on certain conversions. So they will take credit for a conversion even though that might be due to another campaign or even another channel. So keep that in mind. The numbers in Google Ads are just one piece of the puzzle. But now, without further ado, let's dive into your Performance Max data. So here I want to show you a step-by-step guide how I am analyzing Performance Max campaigns to actually know what they're doing and then to make data-based decisions in the end. And make sure you watch the complete video because I will go into the more hidden reports later on. The first step of analyzing your Performance Max campaign is of course the campaign overview. There you will learn how things are actually going. So in this video I will show you real data from a client, so don't be confused if some things are hidden, but the most important things of course the numbers here. Let's have a look at the overview. And what I like to do with the Performance Max campaign, and this is very important, is having a look at a longer date range. I would say at least 30 days. In this case, it's almost 2 months. So keep in mind, don't look at just a week. Conversions take time to be attributed, and this is very important. The overview is of course very helpful to just get an impression how the campaign is actually doing. So are we hitting our performance numbers? How is it developing over time? And what I like to do is to change this around to at least weekly, maybe monthly, depends on your date range. And then you get those smooth lines and you can really have a look how your key metrics are developing over time. For me, most of the time I look at the cost, of course, the conversion, my ROAS, and then it's also important to have a look at the target ROAS, for example. And there, in this case, I can see the development of the campaign is pretty nice. We see the actual ROAS is improving over time. So is my average target because I'm adjusting it and also spending more. In this case, also got us more conversions. So the costs and the conversions are pretty much aligned. And this is what I like to see. And then the next thing I like to do is to look at the performance on asset group level. So let's go to the asset groups. Asset groups are a crucial part of structuring your PMax campaigns. They allow you to segment your campaign in different subgroups, for example, by product category, and then create specific ad copies, imagery, and so on for this specific product group. I've already done an in-depth video about this, so I will leave the link in the comment if you want to check it out. If you navigate to the asset groups of your Performance Max campaign, you will first see the summary view. And there you won't see any data at all. But there's a way to change it because you can just click here on the table view. Once you get to the table view, at first you won't see any performance data, but you can just click here on columns and get your metrics you want to look on. For me, most of the time, I always look at the cost, of course. I want to see what am I spending and what am I getting in return for that. And then I like to sort the performance by cost and then have a look at the performance metrics. In this case, have a look at my cost per conversion and then also the conversion value by cost, which is in fact the ROAS, so the return on ad spend. In this case, I see, okay, my top asset group is actually also performing pretty good. The second one is not as good. And we can really see that the top performing asset group is in fact also generating the best results. So for me, this is a good sign, but it's also telling me that when optimizing this campaign, I should mainly focus on this asset group here. And then I can also have a look at the asset details, which tell you the performance for the different headlines, descriptions, images, or videos. For that, I can just click here on View Asset Details. In this case, it's a little bit hidden, but once I click here, I will get to the asset details. Here in the asset details, you can see how the Google algorithm is actually categorizing your assets. Google is using the categories low, good, and best. And there might also be not enough data because it takes time to test the certain assets, and also not applicable because in this case, this is an automatically created asset by Google. So have a look at the performances. Once an asset is set to low, you might want to switch it out, and also have a look at the automatically created assets by Google, because if you don't like them, you can just pause them. And then another very helpful source for data for your Performance Max campaign is the Insights tab, which you can see here in Insights and Reports, and then click Insights. Here in the Insights, at first you will see a quick performance overview. I would recommend just going to the campaign overview, which I showed you already. And then you want to scroll down a little bit. You might see some data about your asset groups, but I would recommend just looking at the asset groups the way I showed you. And then you might see a card about your competition. But the most important thing, which you see here, are the search term insights. So scroll down until you see the search term insights in your Performance Max campaign, because there you will actually see the search terms, or the keywords in this case, for your Performance Max campaign. So where your Performance Max campaign is actually showing your ads in the Google search network. And what you can do here is, at first you can sort it by conversions, by clicks, by conversion value. It might be interesting to look at the impressions, or maybe also the clicks and then the conversion value, and just see what are the search terms which give you the most clicks, most impressions, most conversion value, for example. And then what is very important, to look if there are your branded terms in there, because Performance Max campaigns love to get brand traffic if you did not exclude it. And if you want to get even more information on that, you can click here to get the detailed report, and you can also download it to have a look at the complete search terms report. So this report is very crucial to understand your Performance Max campaign and to see if it is actually doing what you want. So you want to make sure to see relevant search terms for your products or offers, and also have a look for new search terms that you didn't know that already brought you some conversions. So that might be worth looking into. And then another helpful thing in the Insights tab for the Performance Max campaigns are the audience insights. So here you can see the different audience segments which brought you the most clicks, impressions, or conversions. It depends. If you already have enough conversion data, you will see conversions here. If not, you might see clicks and impressions. And here in the audience insights, you will see certain audience segments which the Google algorithm has identified for performing well for your campaign. In this case, my client is in the toy space, so it's no wonder that toys, the audience signals toys, is the top audience signal, but there are also some interesting audience signals you might not have thought about. Pet supplies, for example, it's not pet toys in this case. So always have a look in the audience insights, because the Google algorithm gives you valuable insights also for your other campaigns you're running. So definitely check this out. And what you also might want to do is just adding those audience signals to your other campaigns, maybe also if you're running other Performance Max campaigns. So, and then Performance Max campaigns can of course be used for several use cases, but the most common one is definitely e-commerce. Since PMax campaigns are the successors of smart shopping campaigns, those are the go-to campaign types for most shops. And for shops, there's another level for your performance data to look at, and this is your products. If you're running an e-commerce Performance Max campaign with a product feed, your Performance Max campaign will mostly run shopping ads, and those showcase your products. So have a look in your product reports. So let's have a look at the products. You can just go here to products, for example. Here you can see the performance data for every product in your campaign. And I like to also sort this by cost to just see which product I'm spending the most on, and then to check if this is actually worth it. In this case, for example, I've seen a product where I've spent significant money on and which performed under average. So I chose to exclude it for now from the campaign. And definitely check this out. You can also look at the different categories, your different brands, your different product types. This depends on your product feed, how this is structured, how you can look at the data. But in general, this is the same as for every tables in Google Ads. You can just customize the columns to see the numbers you want to see. For me, most of the time, it's the cost, the conversions, maybe the click-through rate, the clicks, the CPC, but there are also many other ones. And then there's also another way to look at your products, and those are the listing groups, which are attached to your asset groups. And inside the listing groups, you might already have certain product groups or product IDs selected to only advertise these in the asset group. In my case here, this is a catch-all campaign, so I'm targeting all possible products, but I can also go into the subdivision and have a look at certain categories or certain brands and see the performance for those. Here I'm going to choose the product type and choosing all the product types, and so I can see the performance for my different product types. Here it's just selected by Damen, Herren in German, so male and female, and we'll see the performance for those different categories. Now let's have a look at the more hidden reports for your Performance Max campaigns, because you might have asked, where are the landing pages for this campaign type, or what are the placements, where is Google actually showing my ads in the display network, for example. And actually it might not come out of the box in a pre-made report in Google Ads, but there's a way to just get this information with the report editor. So let's look at the report editor. So in this case, I've just created a report for a landing page in the row and then some performance metrics. And then I filtered it for a certain Performance Max campaign. And then you can just see the different landing pages for your Performance Max campaigns with the performance metrics you chose to see if your Performance Max campaign is actually sending the users to landing pages that make sense. And then also, if you see certain landing pages which get the most traffic, you might want to look into optimizing those pages. Another report, as I said, is also the placement report, where you can just have a look at the different placements for the Performance Max campaign, because Performance Max will also show your ads in the display network, for example. And for display ads, you normally have a placement report where you can just see which websites or which mobile apps are my ads showing on. And to get this report, this is actually pretty easy, because there's a pre-made report in the report editor. Just navigate to the report editor and click on Performance Max placement, and then you can see it's set up like this: Performance Max placement and then impressions. And then if you see a placement that you don't like and you don't like for your entire account, you can just exclude the placement on their account level. With knowing that Performance Max campaigns can basically show your ads around the entire Google Ads network, so YouTube, search, shopping, display, and so on, you might have wondered, what is the algorithm actually doing? Where is it allocating my budget? And this is exactly where the script of Mike Rhodes comes in. So for this, a big thank you and shout out from me, because this is actually very helpful. And this script will tell you where your Performance Max campaign is actually spending the money, so in which channels, and how the channels are actually performing. So let's have a look. This Google Sheet has many tabs, but for me the most important one is the first one, where you can see the distribution of your cost based on the different channels. For example, here my Performance Max campaign is spending most for shopping, and then like 85%, and then we have like 13% in search and the rest in display and YouTube. Most of the time this is a pretty common distribution for an e-commerce campaign. And then you can also go to the campaigns tab and see for this campaign, how much did you spend in a certain channel, for example, shopping, and how much this cost did end up giving you. So in this case, in percent, I've spent 85% in shopping, and those 85% gave me 90% of the revenue. And those insights are very, very valuable because you will learn where your optimizations will have the most impact. For example, in this case, where 85% of my spend goes into shopping feed optimization might be the most important thing for me, and not optimizing my ad copy. This script is completely free, so thanks again. I will leave a link to it in the description. There are also a few other scripts you might want to look into, but they would go out of the scope of this video. So if you want some info on this, let me know in the comments. So, and that's it. I hope you could learn something, because understanding your Performance Max campaign is very crucial. If you find out that your PMax campaign is not doing what you wanted to do, think about stopping it and running more manual campaign types like search and shopping. And definitely check those brand terms. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to this channel, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. See you in my next video. Until then, work smart with clicks in mind.